Liberals are admitting that President Trump can indeed win as leftists accuse him of staging a coup d'etat. In this video, we're going to take a look at liberals who are admitting that President Trump has a clear path to victory, why more and more leftists are hysterically accusing the president of launching a coup, and what the outcome will be if this contested election ends up in the House of Representatives. Let's just say it ain't good if you're Joe Biden. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Great to be with you. Dr. Steve here. The doctor is in the house, ready to bring our latest escapades in the Democrats' futile attempts to thwart the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's our good friends over at Virtual Shield. Gang, if you're not using a VPN or virtual private network on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while browsing the internet, then you really are exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. But protecting yourself online has simply never been easier. And to make it even better, Virtual Shield is offering our audience 50% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons. So do not wait. This is a limited time offer. Click on that link below in the description and sign up for a free 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN today. All right, let's dive right in here. There was a fascinating article. Came out a couple of days back. I wanted to cover it, but we had some breaking news, of course, that took precedence. And the article is entitled Donald Trump's Stealthy Road to Victory. It was published in the National Interest, which is a center-left publication. And here's the tagline. Listen to this. As the counting of votes in Arizona, Georgia, and especially Pennsylvania continues, most of the press and punditry have concluded that Vice President Biden has won the 2020 election. Certainly a substantial majority of the rest of us are suffering from election fatigue and eager for this drama to be over. Without disagreeing with the conventional wisdom about the final tally when all the legal votes are counted, I believe the current consensus is missing the fact that Trump has a second viable, stealthy road to victory. And the article admits that President Trump, in the estimation of the author, does indeed have at least a 20% chance of winning this election. And that's because the Republicans have a clear upper hand in a contested election. If the election were to go to the House of Representatives, because no candidate could secure the 270 electors needed, precisely because of these contested states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. If the election were to go to the House of Representatives to get decided, every state in that case gets one vote. There are delegates that are sent to represent each state in the House of Representatives. The delegates are appointed by the state legislatures, and every state gets one vote. California gets one vote. Rhode Island gets one vote. This according to the 12th Amendment. And were that to take place, you would have 31 states led by Republicans versus 19 states led by Democrats. And Donald Trump will easily be reelected president if this goes to the House of Representatives. This is why Democrats, who are really tracking with what's going on here, are getting rather nervous. The longer this drags on, the more of a chance that this could indeed get thrown into the hands of the House of Representatives, where Trump would win hands down. And articles like this one that are really paying attention to what the Trump team is doing here are beginning to get nervous that if this goes to Congress, Trump will indeed get reelected. And so one of the signs that the left is starting to panic a bit here is that they're coming out and accusing the Trump administration, and I kid you not, of launching a coup d'etat against the rightful president-elect Joe Biden. Now, of course, if Biden does not have 270 electoral votes, he by definition is not the president-elect. And right now, as we speak, he does not have 270 electoral votes. But nevertheless, his accusation that Trump is launching a coup to stay in power seems to be an admission of nervousness here, that they really do believe that Trump may in fact pull this off. Now, this is from the New Yorker. Check this out. Is this a coup or just another Trump con? Or this from Mother Jones. Is this a coup? We asked a variety of humane, thoughtful people, and also Henry Kissinger. Here's one from the New Republic. A coup is a coup. Of course, the British Guardian couldn't be outdone in all this. Can Trump actually stage a coup and stay in office for a second term? I mean, you really have to wonder. If it's a real bona fide coup, why would Trump limit it to simply a second term? I mean, he could go on and on and on, right? But now, if you have fun, you can have fun with this stuff. Just type in Trump and coup, and you'll see the Google results. It's actually hilarious. But you also find it's not new. This accusation that Trump would be launching a coup didn't start on November 4th. It goes back several weeks. You're not going to believe this. But first, make sure you download our free gift for you by clicking on the link below. It's called our Fake News Antidote. It's a compilation of about 20 sites that I go to for my news each and every day. They're all conservative sites, all celebrating Trump and nationalist populism. Look, we need these resources now more than ever, and you can download your very own copy of our Fake News Antidote completely free at the link down below in the pinned comments section, and you'll have a ready go-to list of all these wonderful sites that you'll definitely enjoy and will inspire you throughout this entire crazy process. Yours absolutely free by clicking on that link below. It's my gift to you. All right, take a look at this. Very interesting. Several weeks ago, I came across this article in The Nation entitled, "Is Trump Planning a Coup d'État?" Now, if you don't know, The Nation is a thoroughly left-wing publication. I mean, frankly, there's no leftist issue that they don't shamelessly shill for. But this article, which again was written several weeks back, is a profound glimpse of how concerned leftists were and are in terms of how President Trump could exploit all the ambiguities and uncertainties inherent in mail-in voting to his favor. Here's how the piece opens. Here's how it sets it up. This summer, shortly after scores of camo-wearing, heavily armed federal agents descend on Portland, Oregon to attack protesters, Charles Fried, Ronald Reagan's Solicitor General, pondered the implications of what he was seeing on the streets. Okay, so that's the setup here. And so the article goes on to feature how this rhino fellow assesses the situation in Portland, particularly after Trump deployed federal agents to help restore the peace. So this is what it says. Check this out. What he saw scared him. He remembered the use of paramilitaries by fascist leaders in 1930s Europe, where he was born, and how he feared he was now witnessing a slide into paramilitarism in the United States. His family fled the Nazi occupation of Czechoslovakia. Fried felt that President Trump was using the Department of Homeland Security and other government agencies in a way that was very menacing. You might as well put brown shirts on them. It's a very bad thing. Now, I have a question. I've asked this before, but it bears repeating. What, pray tell, is the exact difference between this fellow's assessment of Trump's actions in Portland and what we would hear from the most radical member of Antifa? What precisely is the difference here? When you have a self-identified Republican sounding and talking the same as an Antifa agitator, you have to ask, what the hell the term Republican even means? So anyway, that's the setup. And what the article goes on to do is ask the question, given what Trump has done in Portland over the summer, right, in deploying federal agents to quell the violence there, is he preparing something similar if he loses the election in November? Right? That's what these far left activists disguised as journalists were asking several weeks back. So what the panicked authors of this article were getting at here is that they believe that President Trump is actually preparing to use the full force of the executive branch of the government to, in their words, illegally curtail the counting of all the mail-in ballots. So they predicted that he might deploy federalized National Guard troops to stop vote counts. They believe that Trump was promising to send in federal agents and even local sheriffs into polling stations to monitor fraud. We could go on in terms of the accusations. Now, as far as I'm aware, none of that happened. None of it. It was all panicked conjecture. And here's the interesting thing. But now that President Trump is contesting the results of this election in court, they're falling back on these coup-inspired caricatures of Trump that were wrong in the first place. You'll notice the media never accused Al Gore of trying to launch a coup d'etat in his contestation of the Florida election results back in 2000. Of course not. So at one level, This is all part of the media's obsession with taunting and ridiculing and heckling Trump, right? Which is all they've been doing now for the last several months. But with this article from the National Interest that does indeed see a clear path of victory for Trump, I'm wondering if these coup accusations really are more, admissions of a very real fear on the part of leftist liberals who see that President Trump and his all-star legal team may indeed be able to pull this off. The more honest they are at admitting that Trump has a case, right? There are enough anomalies in this election to cast the results of a number of these swing states into doubt, a doubt that may cost Biden his 270 electoral votes, with Republican majorities ultimately deciding the fate of this election. It seems more and more liberals are beginning to wonder, perhaps Trump can pull off the impossible once again. Now, before you go, make sure you check out my latest video on how Michigan and Pennsylvania are on the verge of flipping to Trump, as pundits are saying things are about to explode. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.